Guys, hello. You join us today.
Buongiorno.
We're back. Wow. We're back in my flat.
As always. We're going to have our dinner in a second. It's just cooking.
Dinner will be coming out.
Dinner will be served. Maybe you could time this with your dinner.
Yeah, why not?
And have dinner with us. Yeah. Have a meal with us. We thought we could chat today about uni. We both went to uni.
Both went to University of Birmingham.
Big up.
Big up.
Big up UAB. We both thought it could be cool to talk about some of the pros and cons of going to uni.
Going to uni in the first place. Like, when we look back now, are we glad we went? Are we not?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, for me, overall, I'm glad I went because I don't think I'd have moved to Birmingham. And it's one of those things where now when you like reflect on your life, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Like, I love the people I've met here. Like, the church that we go to, everything. Like, I can't vision myself anywhere else, and I wouldn't have gone here if it weren't for uni.
Yeah. But you never would have just gone, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to move to Birmingham.
Yeah. But arguably, like, you could have moved to other places and had, like, for different reasons and had a good time.
Yeah. And that's what I always think is, I really nearly went to Leeds. Like, two of my
I can't imagine you at
uni places were Uni of Leeds and Leeds Beckett I applied for. I do think if I went to Leeds, yes, I would have not been in Birmingham, not met the people, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I probably would have met other people. And
it wouldn't have been me, though.
No, it could have been Soph and Jane. Soph and Jane.
Soph and Jane. But I think that's probably, for me, the biggest pro of my uni experience was getting me to Birmingham, which actually says quite a lot about the uni experience because, you know, a job could have got me here, anything could have got me here. So that's not really specific to going to uni, is it?
But it wouldn't, it would have been a completely different experience because you came and it was like
living in halls,
immersed
people
in students. It's really easy to make friends when you're in that age.
True that. It's good for I think if you went into work straight away, it is kind of harder to find a community because even for us, we have church, which immediately kind of gives you a community. But if you didn't, well, I guess you meet people at work. They're your community. What were you glad about that you got at uni? Other than being in Birmingham, meeting the people you've met.
I'd say,
because I'm struggling to think.
I'd say new opportunities.
I don't know what new opportunities I got.
Got to go to Malta. You got to go to Rotterdam.
I found all of those trips very stressful. Like, what opportunities did you get?
Playing rugby.
Yeah, fair. It's like that's cool.
Like, I wouldn't have started playing rugby if I didn't go to uni.
Yeah. Because I think for me now, when I actually sit and analyse it, the people and the city and like the community element of it aside, obviously I got a degree which is like great, but like I didn't really get much else from it.
But I think it's also hard to measure because you can't know what skills you would not have now.
Exactly.
Like, because even just stuff like writing and being able to
dealing with
yourself.
Like, even at times, like, again, I've spoken about thinking. This, but even wider things, like I've spoken about this before, but like loneliness, like in first year I'd never felt that before, like or dealing with really stressful situations where it was like deadlines, dissertations, all of that.
Like managing your time.
But to be honest, I think for people that go to uni and absolutely love their course, I think they would be sat here saying something completely different. Like, they almost know what vocation they want to go into, they do the right degree, they love it, it's hard, but they love it. That gives you an overall different experience to me and probably you, where it's like, our degrees aren't being used right now in our jobs. They were, in my case, really stressful.
I think I would say mine's slightly different in I did enjoy my course. So I genuinely found my course interesting. Like, some modules not, but the majority of it I found interesting. So enjoyed studying and learning. It's like, is it worth getting into 30 grand of debt just to learn something? As in, like, it is.
I feel like I think at some point both of us will use our degrees. Like, it will come in handy for a job, like. But even I think it probably will. But if I could go back, I would 100% have taken a gap year. Like, I honestly, I think I realised that even in first year, oh, I wish I just had that space to like take a bit of a break from school, have a break in between like going straight back into academic, let's write essays, and even just think a bit more clearly about what I want to do.
But I know there's this big joke about like, oh, I went on a gap year to find myself, but I'm like, no, legit.
Yeah, everyone that I've done with finding
everyone that I met at uni who'd been on a year out was just a bit more grounded. I was just chaos. Yeah. I didn't have my head screwed on. My head was not screwed on, it was off.
And even if it's literally you're just working part-time, then even you do a bit of travelling or you go and see things, like, why didn't I do that?
Yeah, like a lot of my friends did that. Like we
just do what everyone's doing. But guys, genuinely, if you're a bit like tentative on what you might want to study, or you just need a bit of a break, just back yourself and do it. So many people do it. It's not like you're going to get to first year and like everyone is like, you know, younger. Loads of people do gap years, but like, if you're on the fence, just do it.
Yeah. I literally, when I think back to my freshers, it's almost like my head was spinning. Oh. I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know who these people are, but we're apparently going to the cinema because we're best mates now. Like, do you know what I mean? Where you're just like, what's going on?
I think for me,
I'm here, and
it was like just different points of stood measuring tree girth, the width of a tree trunk, and being assessed on it, and that being, you know, a big piece of coursework. And
you're
just
not using that in your job now?
No, funnily enough, guys, not gonna lie, I'm feeling a bit like a fitness blogger. Made a little salad, looking rather nice.
I feel like there's people I know who didn't go to uni, and I will often look at them and think, while I was at uni for 3 years, you were getting on with just working and being an adult. And I think for me, when I was at uni, I just wasn't engaged. This is the theme of me, I'm just not engaging my brain. Basically at uni, it was like 3 years, I'm at uni, so I'm just present, I'm just there, and I'm not, I wasn't really thinking about what do I actually want to do, what actually is the type of career job that I would want to have. And so I almost felt like when I left uni, I was basically just back at square one.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like pointless. Not pointless, but it was almost like, oh, I still don't know what I want to do. I basically feel like I'm 18 again.
The nature of our jobs are quite rare now, in the sense of like...
Should we say what our jobs are?
I think we said before, like safety youth worker, now work in comms.
I'd say our jobs are two of the jobs where it's just on experience.
Yeah.
And can you show that you can do this job?
Yeah. It's more based on experience, but yeah, like with friends that just went straight into work, I guess the friends you were thinking of, they did kind of know what area they wanted to work in.
Yeah, and
so they could kind of go into it.
I wouldn't have known what I wanted.
And I wouldn't have known either. That's the thing, like.
But I'd say if you do know, and it doesn't necessarily require you to go, like, say if you're like, oh, I want to be a midwife, you're gonna have to go to uni. Oh, I want to be a doctor, a dentist, you're gonna have to go to uni. Whereas if you know, like, yeah, oh, I want to be a youth worker, don't bother. Just get out there, do it. We basically ended up in our jobs because we were in Birmingham. And it was, do you know what? You said that you can't think of like new experiences. You basically started to learn all your comm stuff whilst being at uni.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, guys. Like, now I'm in a field of work that is nothing related to geography. I only realised I was interested in it at uni, which again is like cool. But now if I could go back, I would do a different degree. And it's like, maybe if I hadn't gone to uni, I would have worked out I was interested in comms in another way and then done a degree in media. But you don't know, like you just don't know. I might never have worked that out. So, if someone sat here watching, they're going, should I go to uni? What's your answer?
1, don't be pressured to go to uni straight away. Either maybe do a gap year or know that uni is available later on in life. 2, I think if you know you want to do a job that maybe you could get through other ways, like experience or an apprenticeship, definitely consider that because it could be a really good option.
If I could go back
on an experience,
I would go to uni, but I would do a gap year. And in that gap year, I'd be thinking, what do I kind of want to study? I would probably still do geography, But my main thing I would change would be doing a gap year.
Get your head screwed on.
Get your head just in the game, work out, okay, away from school and the pressures of my friends and blah, 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 what do I want to do?
You can't just look at uni as opening doors career-wise through the degree you do.
So much.
It brings so much more. It brings like new friends, a new place that you can live, opportunities that you maybe would never have had prior to going to uni. So you can't, I guess you can't be so narrow-minded to be like, do I want to do this degree or not?
But at the same time, the main reason to go to uni is the degree. And I think sometimes people go the other way where they just go for all the other stuff and like forget they've got to do a degree. And like, it's hard. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I guess this video is mainly for people who are considering whether or not to go to uni. Maybe you're in year 13, year 12, year 11.
Year 10.
year 9.
Also, maybe
year 8.
Maybe you've already been
year
to uni.
6.
Could be in year 6. You've just finished your
could be
SATs.
in year 5 and your parents have just asked you to know.
But maybe you've already been to uni and I don't know. What's your thoughts post uni?
See you in our next video. Bye.